All right, what up, sports fans? Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming, and we are back for some more testing on Glory Days College Football, currently in development as one of the Glory Days series of games. Glory Days Boxing released 2 years ago, and this will be the next edition, set to release after the 2021 college football season. And in today's test, we are going to have a holy war between the BYU Cougars and Notre Dame Fighting Irish, and of course, not the traditional holy war, which is BYU and Utah, but Utah is not one of the rated test teams, so they do not get to participate. Plus, last Saturday, we beat them anyway, so we will rest on those laurels and continue forward here. So Zach Wilson and the BYU Cougars coin toss and elected to receive. Notre Dame set to kick it off. And Notre Dame special teams, a D for kickoff, BYU a C on kickoff returns. No penalty, and that's going to be a touchback. So BYU starts their first drive at the 25-yard line, and Zach Wilson will come out. This should be a competitive game on paper, at least. BYU will operate as a -1 on the drive chart, and Notre Dame a +1. So 35 or better to have a successful drive for the Cougars. And 17, BYU is going to have to punt their first possession. Roll of 11, that's going to be 4 plays and 12 yards. So up to the 37-yard line, and BYU's first possession will end in a punt. Not the start that Zach Wilson and company wanted. BYU's punting is exceptional. They are an A there. And for the punt, it's going to be a booming 45-yard kick all the way down to the Notre Dame 18-yard line. Notre Dame on the punt return is a C, roll of 5 there, and that's going to be a fair catch. So the Irish get their first possession of the first quarter on their own 18-yard line. Let's see if they can fare better as Ian Book brings the Fighting Irish out. And again, sound okay, Derek? Or are you making fun of the punt? All right, Notre Dame, Ian Book starting from the 18-yard line, and Notre Dame a +1 on the drive chart needs 31 or better. And Notre Dame, they're going to start with a punt as well. They get 15 yards on 5 plays. So that's going to be up to the 33-yard line. So both defenses strong to start this game. And the punting team comes on for Notre Dame. Notre Dame is a B punting the ball, and this is going to be a 45-yard punt for the Irish as well. So that's going to go down to the 22-yard line of BYU, and Brigham Young on the punt return. Not very solid there. They are a D, and D4 is going to be a 3-yard return. So Brigham Young starts their second drive of the game also on the 25-yard line. Yeah, the punt figured. All right. Why am I not shocked? All right, BYU, their second possession. Both teams punting their first time. Zach Wilson leads the Cougars out, and 64, that is going to be a successful drive. So from the 25-yard line, a roll of 9. That's going to be 4 plays and 29 yards. So that'll get into Notre Dame territory down to the 46-yard line. And we'll jump into play-by-play mode there. So for play-by-play, BYU, their run team or run offense, it was a -3, and their pass offense a -1 against the Irish. So successful drive rolls or good play rolls here for the BYU Cougars. 11-13 is a +3, and down to 62 and 66 for a -3 on the run column. So we'll see what the first play called is, and BYU comes out, and first down is going to be a short pass. Zach Wilson fades back, and roll of 43. And 43 on a short pass is going to be a 0, roll of 5, and that is going to be incomplete, possible sack. So sack rating for Zach Wilson. Notre Dame has an adjustment to sacks of -1, so they don't get after it that well. And BYU protected Wilson very well. It's got to be 3 or less, and Wilson gets away. That's going to be an incomplete pass. That'll bring up second down. All right, 2nd and 10 from the Notre Dame 46-yard line. Zach Wilson has a play call, And Zach Wilson, he is going to try another short pass. 44-8, that's going to be above the penalty roll. Again, we check penalties on the doubles. So no penalty there. And short pass roll of 44 is going to be a -1 coming off of Notre Dame's card. And roll of 1 is going to be 12 yards and a possible fumble. So that's going to get down to the 34-yard line. That will be a first down. And BYU fumbles, they are 1-4. Notre Dame on takeaways adjust that by 5. So 1-9. And BYU is able to retain possession. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Cougars. Interception coming. That was your chance, the fumble. And Zach Wilson back up the line of scrimmage. Once again, a short pass. And 46, this will again be a -1 coming off of Notre Dame's defensive card. And roll of 8 on the short pass, going to be incomplete. 2nd down and 10. So the Cougars mixed results thus far on this drive as Wilson has a sign, and 2nd and 10 is going to be another short pass attempt. 62, though, that is bad. That is going to be a -3. So coming off of Notre Dame's card, -3 roll of 6, and that's going to be another incomplete pass. So Wilson, in play-by-play mode, has missed 3 of his first 4 attempts. It's going to be 3rd and 10 for the Cougars, Notre Dame. They will be expecting a long pass here. So if that's a call, they'll get an adjustment. And this is going to be a short pass, however. And roll of 12. And finally, a positive result for BYU. That's going to be +3. And +3-5 is a 12-yard gain. So Zaxton comes up big on 3rd down. Threads the needle, and BYU in business. 1st and 10 at the Notre Dame 22-yard line. It's not rigged, Derek. And our good friend SDG Replays has joined us. How are you doing, my friend? All right, 1st down, and BYU finally going to be a run play. It's a -3, however, and Notre Dame has a tough run defense. Roll of 5. That's going to be a 2-yard gain. So ball carrier on that, Tyler Algier. 2nd and 8 for the Cougars at the 20-yard line. And possible penalty on the doubles. That will not be a penalty. Instead, BYU taking a shot. 9 is a long pass. And 22 on the pass is going to be a +2 roll of 7. And +2 roll of 7, possible interception. That will be down to the 3-yard line. We'll roll for the pick. Zach Wilson, again, took care of the ball very well last year. 1-3. Notre Dame is a -2, so it's got to be a 1 to get the pick. And just missed it. Threads the needle between 2 defenders. 17-yard gain. BYU set up 1st and goal now from the 3-yard line. And BYU looking to score the first touchdown of the game. It's going to be a run play to Tyler Algier, and 31 is going to be a +1. +1 roll of 1, and Algier powers into the end zone. Touchdown, and BYU jumps on top. 7-0 or 6-0 pending the extra point, which 0-95 is good, and that's right down the middle. So TD, BYU gets on the scoreboard on their 2nd drive of the game, and it is now 7-0. Notre Dame set to receive the kickoff. Each team 1 more drive in the 1st quarter. And BYU tees it up, and that is through the back of the end zone, touchback. So Notre Dame takes over on their own 25-yard line for the simulated portion of the drive. And again, the Irish a +1, so 31 or better is a successful drive. And that is on its side. We will re-roll it. 41, that will be a potentially successful drive for the Irish. That's going to go 5 plays, 40 yards, and we'll get into play-by-play mode. So down to the Brigham Young 35. Down and distance situation, BYU's defensive rating is a 10. And roll of 5 on the down and distance situation is going to be a 3rd down and 6 for the Irish as we jump into play-by-play mode. So let's see if Ian Book can come through here. This is possibly 4-down territory for Notre Dame, depending on what happens on this play. 3rd and 6. And Notre Dame looking to surprise BYU, calls a draw play, which means they'll get a positive adjustment as BYU expecting a pass. And that's going to be a +2 on the Irish card. +2, roll of 9 on the run, and that is a big play result. Big play 2, and Notre Dame, big play 2 on the run chart. They have several that could result in a touchdown. Roll of 8 and breaking through. That's a 53-yard gain, which is long enough, and a 35-yard touchdown scamper. The ball carrier on that is going to be Williams. And Notre Dame strikes back quickly and looking to tie this up. So one play in play-by-play mode, a 35-yard jaunt through the BYU defense, our first explosive play of the game. Kick is up and good, and we are tied at 7 as BYU set to receive the kickoff for their final possession of the first quarter. So both teams started with punts, and then both teams coming back to score touchdowns here as Notre Dame set to kick it off. BYU sloppy tackling on that long run by Williams as Notre Dame tees it up. And again, kickoff D, a roll of 7 is going to be down to the 5-yard line. And kickoff return for BYU is a C, roll of 5. And that's going to be a 31-yard return. So Brigham Young starts their final drive of the quarter at their own 36-yard line. And again, 35 or better for a successful drive. Not going to happen, though. Zach Wilson only able to get the Cougars 7 yards in 3 plays. So Notre Dame's defense steps up. And BYU wastes some positive field position as they are going to have to punt for the second time in this game. This will be the final play of the first quarter. So into punt is Renkow for the Cougars, and BYU, again, a very good special teams unit. And one is going to be a 50-yard booming punt. That is all the way down to the Notre Dame 7, and roll of 3 on the return. 3C is going to be a fair catch. So very poor special teams play for the Irish there as the first quarter comes to a close. Our score is Notre Dame 7, BYU 7, and the Irish now in a hole backed up inside their own 10-yard line. This is their third drive of the game. They'll get 3 drives in this quarter. BYU will get 2. So again, +1, 31 or better for a successful drive. And Notre Dame, they're going to have to punt as well. A roll of 6. It's going to be 6 plays, 19 yards up to the 26-yard line. So both teams, a touchdown. It's sandwiched now by punts, both of them, as Notre Dame's kicking team comes on, B. And 7B on the punt is going to be a 39-yarder. And that's going to drive the BYU returner back to the 35-yard line. And Brigham Young on the return is a D, 6D on the punt return. And that's going to be a 6-yard return up to the 41-yard line. So BYU, again, good field position. Second time in a row they've started outside of the 35. Let's see if Zach Wilson can engineer some more magic here as the teams come up to the line of scrimmage. And 33, it needed to be 35 or better. So BYU is going to be forced to punt for the third time in 4 drives. And that's another 3-play, 7-yard drive. So Brigham Young struggling here against the Irish defense early in this one. Once again, the punting team comes onto the field. And possible penalty on the doubles, no penalty. 6 on the punt. 6A, that's going to be a 40-yard punt, and that'll go down to the 12-yard line for Notre Dame. 3C on the return, and 3C is going to be a fair catch. So Notre Dame, once again, backed up. They have started inside their own 25. 3 of their 4 drives. BYU winning the field position battle early in this one. Let's see if Ian can take the Irish on a drive, and Voodoo Valley, DJ is calling a touchdown drive here, and this will indeed be a successful drive for the Irish. And from their own 12-yard line, roll of 5. That's going to be 4 plays, 41 yards for the simulated portion of the drive. So that'll go down to the BYU 47-yard line. And Our down and distance situation, once again, though, this will be a 3rd and 6 for the Irish. So last time the Irish crossed it up and called a draw play here, which went 35 yards for a touchdown. Let's see what they have in store here. This is going to be a long pass. BYU ready for it. 35. That would normally be a 0. It's going to be a -1 on the adjustment. -1 on BYU's card and a roll of 0. And that's going to be incomplete. So that'll bring up a 4th down for Notre Dame. 4th and 6, and Brian Kelly is electing to play the field position game from the 47. They're going to try and pin BYU deep, make them drive the length of the field. Punting is a B for the Irish, so 2B. It's a 37-yard punt, so that's going to come down at the 10-yard line. And BYU's 2C on the return is going to be no return. It goes out of bounds. So Brigham Young, their final drive of the first half, will start at their own 10-yard line. So we are settling into a defensive battle here as Zach Wilson brings the Cougs back on. You have to think that they have a drive coming. They have punted 3 of their 4 drives so far, Wilson. And he is going to engineer a successful drive, 14. And 14 from the 10, that's going to be 6 plays, 38 yards, so up to their own 48-yard line. And Brigham Young jumps into play-by-play mode there. Up to the line of scrimmage, and Zach Wilson going to come out throwing once again, 46 on the short pass result. That's going to be a -1 off the Notre Dame defensive card, roll of 4, and that's going to be incomplete, possible sack. And again, Brigham Young did not get sacked much in 2020, so with the adjustment from Notre Dame, 1 to 4 is the base number, and Notre Dame is -1. Got to be 3 or less. And again, Zach Wilson able to slip out of pressure, but he fires over Dax Mills' head. I didn't do the down and distance, damn it. Let me do that. 4 could definitely make a difference here. Down and distance, that would have been 3rd and 10, so that's going to be a 4th and 10 on the incomplete pass. So Brigham Young on their final possession of the first half, they're going to have to punt as well. 6A on the punt, and that's going to be a 40-yard punt, again down to the Notre Dame 12-yard line. 7C on the return, and that's going to be no return for the Irish. So this has been a field position battle early in this one. Each team with 1 sustained drive resulting in a touchdown. Notre Dame starts for their 4th time inside their own 25-yard line. So Notre Dame, Ian Book trying to engineer a scoring drive before the half and not going to get it done. Roll of 14. The defenses are playing lights out in this. It's going to be 4 plays, 12 yards up to the 24-yard line, and Notre Dame's going to have to punt to end the first half. So outside of a blocked punt or a kickoff or a punt return for a touchdown, which will be the final play of the first half. And 4B on the punt, that is going to be a booming 56-yard punt all the way back to the 20-yard line where that's going to be fielded, and 9 on the return. Going to come off of BYU's big play chart on punt returns. They do not have touchdowns. So 7 on the punt return, and that is actually going to be only a 4-yard return. So that brings the first half to a close. And Notre Dame and BYU locked in a deep struggle. It is 7-7. And Matt, Steeler fan 1933, has joined us. Check out his Glory Days Boxing Dynasty on Operation Sports. And Matt, you can ignore Voodoo Valley in the chat. Also known as one of my sons. He is trolling. He cannot accept the greatness that is BYU. So let's look at our first half statistics real quick. Really not much from either team in the first half after their second drive. All right, so total yardage. Again, not very stellar. BYU, 29 plays, only 139 total yards in the first half, well below their output. The Irish defense playing very well. Notre Dame, not much better. They have 26 plays for 162 yards. And each team will get 3 drives here in the second half. Notre Dame set to receive the kickoff as BYU set to kick it away, and 7C, that's going to be down to the 5-yard line. So Notre Dame is going to have a return, and 6C on the kickoff return is going to be a 25-yard return. And Notre Dame happy to start outside of their own 25 for a change. First possession of the second half. I can already see the chat is against me, so I'll just ignore both of them. You found a kindred spirit in my son, Matt. Great. Here we go. Notre Dame. Again, 31 or better. And Ian Book, he is going to engineer a successful drive, a sustained drive, I should say. And that is going to be from the 30-yard line. It'll be 4 plays, 37 yards. So down to the Brigham Young 33-yard line. And down a distance situation from there against a Brigham Young defense of 10. It's going to be a 2nd down and 10 as we jump into play-by-play mode. So Ian Book, good chance for the Irish here to take the lead for the first time in this game. 2nd and 10, it's going to be a running play. They had success on the ground at points in the first quarter. 53, not a very favorable roll, however, as 53 is going to be a -1 going to Brigham Young's defensive card, roll of 8. And that's going to be only a 2-yard gain for Williams. So Notre Dame now faced with a 3rd and 8 from the Brigham Young 31-yard line. BYU expecting to pass, and our good friends Arnold Hunter has joined us, a very good defensive battle. And Al Red Sox fan, check out that wonderful channel. And finally, we have some balance as Al rooting for BYU as well. And here we go. It is going to be once again, Notre Dame trying to throw a curveball with a run call on 3rd and 8. Last time they did this, it worked, 35-yard touchdown scamper. 36 on the 2D6 roll for Notre Dame. That is going to be a 0 adjusted to +1 because BYU was not expecting it. +1 roll of 9, and again, a big play for the Irish. Unbelievable. Big play 1 for Notre Dame coming out of this column here. They have a touchdown. If it's a 0-1, that's going to be a 13-yard gain, but that's going to be good enough for a 1st and 10 down to the 18-yard line. So Notre Dame coming up big with big plays in the running game. That's their 2nd explosive play there. Gives them a 1st and 10 at the 18, and BYU's defense now in a bit of a hole. Going to be a run call on 1st and 10. Roll of 63, however, is not going to bode well for the Irish. That'll be a -2 off of BYU's card. And -2 roll of 2 is going to be a 1-yard gain. And one sec while I adjust my scorecard here. All right, 1-yard gain. That brings up a 2nd down and 9 from the 17 for the Fighting Irish. BYU's defense comes up big there, and this time it is going to be a long pass. Ian Book taking a shot on 2nd down and 9. Roll of 62. That is not good, however. That's going to be a -2. So again, coming off of BYU's card, and roll of 7 is going to be incomplete for the Irish. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 9. So Notre Dame looking at a potential field goal here, unless Ian Book can pull a rabbit out of his hat. 3rd and 9, and what do they do? Once again, they go to that dreaded draw play on 3rd down. It's going to be good for them. It's going to be a +3. Roll of 9, another big play for the Irish. Unbelievable. This will be a big play 1 chart, and 9 on the big play 1. That's a 26-yard result, a 17-yard touchdown scamper. 3rd time for Notre Dame. They have gotten an explosive play in the run game, and they go into the lead 13-7. On for the extra point. Kick is up 99, and that is going to be blocked. So Notre Dame able to get on the scoreboard, but special teams miscue. A rusher untouched blocks the extra point attempt. We'll see if that comes into play later in the game as BYU set to receive the kickoff, their first drive of the second half, trailing 13-7. And certain people in the chat named Voodoo Valley and Matt Steeler Fan 1933 going crazy. Cheer, cheer, cheer for old Notre Dame. Irish set to kick it off, and kickoff of D. It's going to be a touchback, so BYU takes over at their own 25-yard line. Zach Wilson now facing a deficit, something he did in only a single game last year, and that was against Coastal Carolina, of course, their only loss of the season. Let's see if he can produce a scoring drive for the Cougars now. And 78, that will indeed be a successful drive. 78 on -1, and it is going to actually be a big play 2 from the run column. So Tyler Algier finally looking to get untracked here, and this will be an automatic 1st and 10. A 9, and this game is tied 1, and that's only going to be a 16-yard gain. But that gets BYU up to the 41-yard line, 1st and 10, and we will jump into play-by-play mode. So BYU with their first explosive play of the afternoon. All right, Zach Wilson now. Looking to finish this drive, 1st and 10. Their own 41-yard line are the Cougars, and it's going to be a running play to Tyler Algier. 56, however, is going to be a -2 coming off of Notre Dame's card, and Notre Dame's run defense has been stout except for that single long run. It's going to be a 6-yard run, however. That's a bad result off that chart and a possible fumble. And again, BYU only 1 to 4 on fumbles, and Notre Dame a +5, so 1 to 9. And 16, BYU dodges yet another bullet. 2nd down and 4 for the Cougs. And that could have been a 10-game-changing play if they had fumbled that away there. 2nd down, and once again, a run play to Tyler Algier, 32. And 32 is going to be a 0 result. Algier has a 2-yard positive adjustment on 0 column rolls, and a roll of 3 is 4, make it 6 yards. And into Notre Dame territory, 1st and 10 on the Irish 47-yard line. As BYU's offensive line now moving the pile up in the trenches. 5, BYU, and they're going to call a pass play this time. Short pass for Zach Wilson, 53. And 53 is going to be a -2, once again coming off of Notre Dame's card. Roll of 3, that's going to be incomplete for the Cougars. And Zach Wilson is struggling a little bit in the passing game today. Makes it 2nd down and 10 for BYU. 5 or more is a pass. And once again, Wilson, a short pass play. 63, another terrible result on the line control chart, as that's going to be -3 on Notre Dame's column. And that's going to be another incomplete. So 3rd down and 10. Notre Dame's defense now rising up as BYU at their own 47-yard line. Irish expecting a long pass, 3rd and 6+, and BYU is going to give them a taste of their own medicine. They call a 3rd and 10 draw. They're going to get the bonus there. 35 on the chart, 0 makes it a +1, and +1 roll of 3. It's going to be a 6-yard gain for Tyler Algier, and that's going to bring up a 4th and 4 from the 41-yard line. And it's kind of no man's land situation here. We'll leave it up to the chat. Should BYU go for this? I'm thinking in a 13-7 game, why not? Let their defense go to work. So 4th down and 4. 0 to 3 is a run, 4 or more is a pass, and it's going to be a run play, a surprising play call there. And 42 on the run, that is going to be -1 coming off of Notre Dame's card. Roll of 4, and Notre Dame's defense rises to the challenge. And the ball carrier on that is 17. That is Zach Wilson. He pulls it on the keep, and he is stopped. Notre Dame with a big 4th down stop, and they turn the Cougars away, and they're going to take over on their own 40-yard line. and that could be a questionable call. We'll see how that affects the outcome of this game, as Notre Dame now set to begin their second drive of the second half. Let's see if they can sustain a drive, and we did go for it, and we failed, guys. All right, Notre Dame, they are going to get another sustained drive, and things looking a little grim for the Cougars right now. So from their own 40-yard line, that's going to be 5 plays and 31 yards for the Irish. And that's going to place Notre Dame at the BYU 29-yard line, roll of 11 on down and distance. And against a 10 defense, it's going to be 3rd and 3, so a very manageable 3rd and 3 for the Irish. BYU, this is kind of no man's land, so there is no adjustment either way on the play call here. As 3rd down and 5, Ian Book, it's going to be a short pass result, 31. And 31 on the line control is going to be a +1 for the Irish, actually. So roll of 6 +1 on the short pass, and would have been 10 if it had been on a 0. Just barely a +1 instead. That's going to be incomplete. So Notre Dame now 4th down and 3 from the Brigham Young 29-yard line. This would be a 46-yard field goal. And from here, Notre Dame is 0 to 59. What would Brian Kelly do here? 0 to 59. He is going to bring his field goal team onto the field. And here's a snap. Kick is up, and it is wide to the left, and we did not go for that, and it was a missed field goal. So miscues by both Notre Dame and BYU results in a couple of stagnant drives there. 4th down calamities for both teams, as Brigham Young now looks to take over from their own 29. Zach Wilson looking to engineer a sustained drive. 93, and that will be sustained, but potentially bad result. That is a potential interception. So roll of 5 on the potential turnover chart. It'll be 3 plays and 24 yards. So that will be down to the Irish 47-yard line, yes. All right, so now interception again. Zach Wilson, though, very good taking care of the ball in 2020. 1, 2, 3 is a base, and Notre Dame on their interception is a -2. So it's got to be a roll of 1 for the Irish to pick it, and they do not. So BYU down and distance situation, 6 against an 11 defense. And it's going to be 2nd down and 12 at that point. So BYU now with a chance to tie this game up or take the lead in play-by-play mode, 2nd and 12. Roll of 8, and it's going to be a short pass by Zach Wilson. A roll of 2, potential penalty. 8 is above the penalty range. So this is going to be a +3 for the Cougars short pass. And the only damn bad result on there, incomplete pass. Unbelievable. So Zach Wilson, that was right on the money and dropped by his receiver. That brings up a 3rd and 12. And BYU snake bit. They're trying to get back into this game. 3rd and 12 from the Irish 47-yard line. And once again, we are going to have a change up, a draw play, 35. And 35 on the run call. It's going to be a +1 for the Cougs. Probably not going to get it done. +1 roll of 5. 7-yard gain. So that's going to get it down to the 40-yard line, but that makes it a 4th and 5. Is BYU going to go for it again? At this position on the field, it again is no man's land. You can't kick a field goal from here. This is out of range, and punt likely goes into the end zone. Kalani Sitake rolling the dice. He's going to go for it again. 4th down and 4. 4th down and 4, and play call is going to be another run play. Both teams very questionable in their run call. 16, that's going to be a +2 for Brigham Young. +2 roll of 4, and that is going to be only 2 yards again. The one bad result there. So Notre Dame, a 2nd consecutive 4th down stop, and they're going to take over at their own 38. Unbelievable. BYU shooting themselves in the foot. Second time they've turned it over on downs. And the Irish now, their final possession of the third quarter starts at their own 38. And our armchair coaches in the chat loving the gambling. Notre Dame now looking to get another sustained drive. Again, it needs to be 31 or better. And 59, another sustained drive for the Irish. Roll of 5 on the drive chart. And roll of 5, that is going to be a big play drive. 3 plays, 41 yards. All the way down to the Brigham Young 21-yard line. And that will not be an automatic first down. So roll of 10, and down a distance situation, that's going to be a 3rd down and 5. So that was apparently 1 big pass and then 2 incompletions. 3rd and 5 from the Irish there at the Brigham Young 21. Let's see what Notre Dame does now as Ian Book brings the Irish up to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 5, again in that no man's land. It's going to be a short pass call, and this could be a positive result for the Irish. 43 on the roll, and 43 is going to be from the 0 column. Roll of 9, short pass, and incomplete. Unbelievable. Ian Book has not fared well in the passing game. Zach Wilson has not been much better. This is going to be a 48-yard field goal attempt. I'm sorry, a 38-yard field goal attempt. So from here, it's a 0 to 70, much more favorable odds. The kicking team comes on, and kick is down and right down the middle, and Notre Dame extends their lead now to 16 to 7. That was a critical drive, makes it a 2-score game. And BYU now, their final drive of the third quarter, and again, a very tight defensive battle thus far. Both teams have had chances, and both teams have failed offensively in key situations. So Notre Dame kicking the ball away. And 60 on the kickoff, and that's going to be down to the 5-yard line for the Irish, or for the Cougars, sorry. And kickoff return of C for Brigham Young, 7C. And that's only going to be an 11-yard return. So they better to fair catch that one as BYU takes over at their own 16-yard line. And again, this will be the final drive of the third quarter. So Zach Wilson, Brigham Young's offense, only 1 touchdown today, 4 punts, and turnovers on downs twice. I think they're due for a good sustained drive, and unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. 6 plays, 19 yards, and it is going to be yet another punt. So they get it up to the 35-yard line. Notre Dame's defense doing a good job keeping Wilson in check today, as Renkow comes on for his 5th punt of the day. This will be the final occurrence of the third quarter. And 4A, that's one thing BYU does good, is punt the ball, and that is a booming 64-yard punt. That is all the way down to the Notre Dame 1-yard line, and roll of 6 for the Irish on the return. 6C on the punt return, and that is going to be a dead ball at the 1. A booming kick by Brigham Young, and that pins the Irish in a big hole as we start the fourth quarter. And our score heading into the fourth from South Bend, Indiana, is Notre Dame 16 and BYU 7, both teams with 3 drives left. And Notre Dame starting this one from their own 1-yard line. Let's see what Ian Book can do here. And they're going to have a sustained drive, believe it or not, 40. And from their own 1, a roll of 15 on the sustained drive chart. That's 5 plays, 39 yards. So that gets it up to their own 40-yard line where we jump into play-by-play mode. And roll of 6 on the down and distance. Going to be a 2nd down and 10 from there. All right, so the Irish, currently at this point, they are winning the total yardage battle, a whopping 338 to 222. BYU very much out of character today in terms of offense, as Notre Dame defense has played well. And guys, if you're enjoying this slugfest, hit that thumbs up button, please. And here we go. Notre Dame hops into play-by-play mode, and 6. 2nd down, it's going to be a short pass by Ian Book, 45. And 45 on the short pass, going to be a -1 coming off of Brigham Young's card, roll of 8. And roll of 8 on the short pass, that's going to be incomplete. Ian Book, in play-by-play mode at least, is 0 for 6 today, 0 for 5. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 10 for the Irish. So they got it out of the shadow of their own goalpost, but so far not looking promising. This is going to be another short pass result. 15, though, that's a good result for the Irish. That'll be a +3. +3, roll of 0 on the short pass, and that's only going to be a 6-yard gain. Notre Dame hoping they could break a tackle and spring a big play there. Instead, that's going to be 4th and 4, and Brian Kelly does not hesitate. The punt team comes on, and this will be Notre Dame's 5th punt of the game as well. They also have two touchdowns, a field goal, and a missed field goal. All right, so the Irish punting it away. BYU set to receive the ball for the first time here in the 4th quarter. And roll of 7 on the punt, 7B, 39-yard punt. All the way back to the BYU 15-yard line. Roll of 9 on the return, going to BYU's team chart for the punt return. And roll of 7. And roll of 7 is going to be a 4-yard return. So Brigham Young starts on their own 19, their first drive of the 4th quarter. So let's see if Zach Wilson can flip the field here for the Cougars at worst. Again, 35 or better for a successful drive. And they have not had good rolls today. And damn it, there we go again. Another punt. 4 plays, 12 yards. BYU's offense is struggling in this one. Absolutely struggling. And an unheard of 6th punt in this game. BYU, I don't think punted. I think against Coastal Carolina, they might have punted 5 times. So Notre Dame's defense stepping up and playing big from the 31. And again, the punter, this is actually the worst result in that column. This is only a 39-yard punt. That's down to the Notre Dame 30-yard line where the return will take place. And 6C on the punt return. It's going to be a fair catch. Notre Dame, their second drive of the 4th quarter, will start on their own 30. Much better field position than last time. It's kind of been the story for the Irish. Bad field position throughout this game. As we are approaching the midway point of the 4th quarter, Notre Dame holding on to a 9-point lead in a defensive battle. 98, that's going to be a potential interception. We'll see what the result is. 2. So 3 plays, 35 yards on that drive. That's going to get it down to the Brigham Young 35-yard line. But Ian Book, a potential interception. And Book, his base interception rate was 1 to 3. He took care of the ball pretty well also. -1 for BYU, so not likely. Needs to be a 2, and that's a 20. So no interception, and down and distance situation actually would be a 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 for Ian Book and company. Ball on the BYU 35, a great opportunity for the Irish to salt this away, and it's going to be a run call. Notre Dame 56 -2. -2 roll of 2. That's going to be a 1-yard gain. So BYU's run defense, they have given up a few big plays in this game, but they stiffen up there. 2nd down and 9 from the 34-yard line. Ian Book gets a signal from the sideline, and Brian Kelly playing it safe, sticking to the ground. 66, going to be a potential penalty. Roll of 5. This will be a penalty, but let's see what the play is. Play is going to be -3 on the run result, and that's going to be a stuff off of BYU's card. So let's see what the stuff result is. I'm pretty sure that BYU might decline this penalty. That's going to be a -4-yard result on the run call. See what the penalty is. And 7 on the penalty roll. That would be illegal formation, a 5-yard penalty. And BYU is going to take the 4-yard loss. That makes it 3rd down and 14. So the Irish, once again, stalling in Brigham Young territory. Ian Book BYU looking for the long pass and 6. And that is indeed going to be a long pass 63, going to be a -3 off BYU's card as they are sitting back waiting for this. 5, and that's still going to be a 10-yard gain, though. And seriously, on Brigham Young's long pass chart, 4 positive results. 2 of them result in possible sack or a fumble. So this one does not. So that's going to be down to the 28-yard line, and that's going to make it 4th down and 3. I think the prudent thing to do here, this would be a 45-yard field goal. And again, from this distance, 0 to 59, Brian Kelly is going to try the field goal. I think they want to give BYU the ball in this field position. So field goal team comes on. 43, kick is up and good. And that is a crucial field goal. Of course, still a 2-score game, but Brigham Young now is going to need to score 2 touchdowns, as that makes our score here in the 4th quarter 19-7. And Brigham Young is going to have 2 drives left and Notre Dame 1 drive left, minus any of the alternative late close rules. It could result in an extra drive or onside kick. But Notre Dame tees it up for the kickoff. That's going to be a touchback, and Zach Wilson will bring his Cougars out to start at the 25-yard line. And BYU's drives today, terrible rolls. Finally, they get a sustained drive, 67, and roll of 20 on the sustained drive chart. 2 plays, 38 yards, automatic 1st and 10 situation. So 58-63 down to the Notre Dame 37-yard line. And 1st and 10 for the Cougars. Let's see if Zach Wilson now can create a little late game magic and get BYU back within a single score. Notre Dame's defense has been on point today. They steal themselves once again, and it's going to be a run play. 66, possible penalty. 9 is above the penalty, but that's going to be a -3. And a friggin' 9 off of Notre Dame's run card is going to be a stuff. So 5 on the stuff result, and Algier is nailed at the line of scrimmage. No gain makes it 2nd down and 10 for Brigham Young. Irish 37-yard line. Zach Wilson has the play call, and 2nd down, going to be another run play, 23 this time, a little bit for BYU. 23 is going to be a +1 roll of 1, and that'll be an 8-yard gain. And pummeling the Notre Dame defense through the middle. Tyler Algier, 8 yards, brings up a 3rd and 2. So neither team throwing the ball very well today. And 3rd and 2 for the Cougars. 22, possible penalty, and that is indeed going to be a penalty. Let's see what the result is. 22, this would be a long pass attempt. I'm sorry, short pass attempt. So 4 on the short pass, and result there is going to be a +2. 4 + 2, that's an 11-yard gain, and Notre Dame is definitely going to take the penalty. And let's see what the penalty is. And roll of 1, that's going to be a false start. So Brigham Young, a critical penalty there, backs him up 5 yards, and that makes it 3rd and 7 now. So Notre Dame sitting back, protecting for the longer pass. They'll get that bonus if that is indeed the roll. And 3rd and 6+, it's going to be a short pass call and another possible penalty. This time, no. +2 result once again on the short pass, roll of 2. And that's going to be a 12-yard gain. Zach Wilson comes through with a big strike. 1st down for the BYU Cougars. And Wilson has been struggling here in the 2nd half, but he threads the needle on that one. New set of downs for the Cougs. Notre Dame now trying to rise up. 1st down, and Zach Wilson taking a shot. Play action on 1st and 10. Roll of 35 for BYU. That's going to be out of the 0 column. And roll of 1 on the long pass, and that's going to be 21 yards. That will be down to the 1-yard line, but there is a potential sack. And I actually already rolled that sack die, so we will leave that, and I don't think that was a good idea. 1 to 4 is the base. and -1. So 1-3, and it is indeed a 1-3. And Brigham Young, Zach Wilson, coming up clutch there. Couldn't get out of the grasp of the defenders, and that's going to be a 6-yard loss. Going to make it 2nd down and 16 now for the Cougars. -6 on that result. 2nd and 16. Brigham Young, a clutch sack for the Notre Dame defense, and Zach Wilson going to take another shot. Long pass, 45 on the long pass result. It's going to be a -1 off of Notre Dame's card. And I keep rolling this. I don't mean to. 9 on the long pass off of Notre Dame's card. -1 is an incomplete. So 3rd down, and BYU, they have pretty much got to go for it here. They trail by 12 points. So a touchdown and field goal don't do them any good, even if they get to 2. So 3rd and long, 3rd and 16 for the Cougars, and doubles, no penalty on that. 3rd and long is going to be Zach Wilson is forced to throw underneath, short pass, 33. And that's going to be a +1 roll of 3. And +1 roll of 3 is going to be a 10-yard gain, possible interception. And again, Zach Wilson, to get the interception, this has to be a 1. And it is not. So BYU is going to be a 4th down and 6 from the 18-yard line, and they have absolutely got to go for it here. This could be the ball game, folks. 4th and 6. Zach Wilson brings team up to the line of scrimmage. 4th and 6, going to be a short pass result, 43, and 43 coming out of the 0 column. Roll of 8 for Brigham Young. 7-yard gain, roll of 8, 7 yards, and that's going to be a 1st down. BYU is not out of this yet. 1st and 10 from the 11. Brigham Young hanging tough, and here we go. Doubles again. 11 will be no penalty, but that's going to be a short pass, and -3 coming off of Notre Dame's card. Roll of 6, and roll of 6, that's going to be an incompletion. So 2nd down and 10. BYU at the 11-yard line. B. Scott Howard has joined us. Welcome, my friend. BYU clinging on to life literally in this one. They need a touchdown here to stay in the game, have any opportunity. 2nd down and 10, going to be a long pass call. 34 on the long pass. 0, roll of 4 on the 0 column, and that's going to be an incompletion again. So Zach Wilson, harassed by this Irish defense, has struggled here in the 2nd half. 3rd and 10 from the Irish 11. Here's the play call, and once again a long pass, and Notre Dame is sitting on this. So roll of 12, that normally would be a +3. It knocks it down to a +2. Is Notre Dame expecting it? Zach Wilson, though, looking to make the perfect throw. 25 yards, and that's going to be a touchdown as Zach Wilson comes through. And the strike there going to Dax Mill. Finds him right down the seam. 11-yard touchdown pass, and BYU not out of this game yet. They have a chance to pull within 19-14, pending the extra point. 0-95, it is good. 94, and it clanks that off the upright, goes through, and finally BYU sustains some offense. Each team with 1 drive left now. It is 19-14. Notre Dame in the lead, and this game is coming down to the wire, folks. BYU is going to have that last chance. All right, here is the kickoff for Brigham Young. That's going to be a touchback. Notre Dame starts their final drive of the game on their own 25-yard line, and this is going to be a clutch drive for Ian Book. 31 or better to have a sustained drive. 85. And 85, and that's going to be bad news for BYU. That is a big play, explosive pass play too. Comes off of this column here, and there is a touchdown in there as well as some other tasty gains. Roll of 4 is a touchdown. 3, he just missed that. It's going to be a 23-yard big play up to the 48-yard line. So Notre Dame, yet another explosive play for the Irish, and they have a drive going. It's going to be 1st and 10 from their own 48. Let's see if they can bleed the clock down and put this game out of reach for Brigham Young. Book brings the team up to the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be a short pass. Play action on first down. 64, however, is going to be a -3 result. So going to BYU's defensive card, -3, roll of 7, and that's going to be incomplete. Possible sack. Book sack rating is 1 to 8, and Brigham Young, unfortunately, is a -2, so 1 to 6. And Brigham Young, pressure gets through. Ian Book's going to go down. Only a 2-yard loss, however. That's going to break it 2nd down and 12. So Ian Book almost made it back to the original line of scrimmage. It did not. So 2nd and 12 for Notre Dame. Book has a signal. Irish up to the line of scrimmage. And 6, that's going to be a short pass result. 25 for Notre Dame on the short pass, going to be a +1. And 0 on the +1 column. That's going to be an incomplete and another possible sack. And Book avoids pressure this time, but throws it into the ground. So Brigham Young's defense coming up clutch here is going to make it a 3rd and 12. Notre Dame at their own 46. 65, and that is going to be a long pass, -3, roll of 5 off of BYU's card. And that is just that damn 10-yard gain again. So it's going to make it 4th down and 2 for the Irish. And this first down would probably mean the ball game. So, Matt, are you still in the chat? What do we do here? Go for it. 4th and 2. 4th and 2 for the Irish. And BYU will get one more chance after this. You try and go for the dagger or play it safe and make BYU drive the length of the field on their last drive for the possible win. And Matt Steeler fan says, go for it. So here you go. 4th down and 2. Play the ball game. Notre Dame, this will be 0 to 7, a run. And BYU is sitting on a run. And 8, they pull a short pass out of their hats. 46 on the pass attempt. 46 is going to be a -1 going off of BYU's card. -1 on the short pass, roll of 5, and I'll show you that is incomplete. So Book, under duress, overshoots his target, and that's going to give BYU a short field as they take over on their own 4-yard line, and they have one more drive. So on 4th down today, neither team has been good. Combined 0 for 3, and that could be the killer right there as Zach Wilson now. This is where you want your 2nd overall draft pick to be. Game on the line, trailing by 5 in the 4th quarter. Can he bring BYU back from a 4th quarter 12-point deficit? Here we go. We need a 35 or better for a sustained drive, and 26. So this is going to bring up a 4th down situation for the Cougars with the ball game on the line. 5 plays, 22 yards. We'll get that first of all. So down to the Notre Dame 24-yard line. So here's the rule here. Obviously, you're not going to kick in this situation. So we go by the down and distance roll, and that is a shitty down and distance roll for BYU, unfortunately, against an 11 defense. Gosh. It's going to make it 4th down and 12 for BYU. So this is it. One play for the ball game, guys. 4th and 12 for Brigham Young. Can Zach Wilson pull some magic out of his hat here? And 4th and 12, Notre Dame sitting on a long pass. BYU is going to be forced to, they are going to throw it underneath. So short pass attempt for the Cougars, and 25 is going to be a +1. Roll of 6 on a +1. This is the ball game. You see it right there. Short pass. 13 yards, and Brigham Young. Zach Wilson, a 1st down to the Notre Dame 21-yard line. Unbelievable. And you see on that column, that was absolutely the only result that would have kept him in the game and gotten the 1st down. And Zach Wilson, clutch, 4th and 12 pass. BYU still in it. Here we go. 1st and 10 for the Cougars. It's going to be a short pass, 21, play action. And that'll be a +2 result, 5 on the roll. That's going to be an 11-yard gain. Zach Wilson down to the 10-yard line. BYU on the verge of pulling off an incredible comeback and a mild upset here. 1st and 10, 1st and goal from the 10. BYU 4 plays to win it, and they start the drive running. And 63, that's going to be a -3, unfortunately. And -3 roll of 5, gain of 2. 2nd down and 8 for the Cougars at the 8-yard line. Hey, what's up, Clint? Good to see you, buddy. This is the last drive of the game and a potential big come-from-behind finish for BYU here. 2nd down is going to be another run play, but damn it, another -3 on the result. So going to Notre Dame's card and 0, that's going to be a stuff. So Notre Dame, it's going to come down to 2 plays for all the marbles once again, as I jettison that dice off the table. Actually, it went behind here. All right, so stuff result 6 on the stuff result, and that is going to be a -3. So back to the 11-yard line, and Tyler Algier hammered and dropped in the backfield. So it's going to be 3rd down and 11 for BYU. Notre Dame's going to be on the long pass here. Total yardage right now, 394 for the Irish, 348 for the Cougars, who have surged here in the 4th quarter. 3rd and 11. This is 4-down territory. Here we go. Another bad roll on the 2D6. And looking to pick up just enough to make it a manageable 4th down, as that will be a short pass play. 56 on the short pass for BYU, though, and that's going to be a -2 coming off of Notre Dame's card. -2 on the short pass, roll of 1, and that's going to be incomplete. So for the 2nd time on this drive, Zach Wilson faced with a 4th down and 10+. Last time he converted a 4th and 12 with a 13-yard strike. This is it right here, 4th and goal from the 11. This one has got to go in the end zone. This is it. This is the ball game right here. 1 play for all the marbles. 66, that is not good. No penalty on the 8. But my goodness, that's going to be another short pass, and I don't think BYU is going to get lucky this time, as that comes off of Notre Dame's card. A roll of 5 on the short pass, -3, 9 yards, and a possible interception. It doesn't matter either way. It's not picked off, but that is the ball game. So BYU, the pass on that, the short pass going to Isaac Rex, the tight end, and he is stopped at the 1-yard line. Unbelievable. So that is the ball game, folks, as Notre Dame, I'm sorry, I stopped at the 2. Notre Dame survived a furious rally by Brigham Young to hold on, and the Irish pull out a 19-14 final in a very tight back-and-forth defensive struggle. This game had a little bit of everything. Let's wrap this up and give our final stats. So here we go. Right. Second half definitely belonged to BYU in terms of total yardage after Notre Dame outperformed them considerably in the first. 7. All right, here are our final statistics, folks. All right, total yards for the Brigham Young Cougars. They had 73 plays, 358 yards. Notre Dame, 62 plays for 394 yards. But most importantly, they stopped Brigham Young 3 times on downs. The final one coming 2 yards short of the game-winning touchdown. So an exciting finish as the Notre Dame marching band breaks into a full song and the fans are chanting, touchdown, Jesus is happy. Notre Dame wins the Holy War 19-14. I want to thank everybody that stopped by for the chat. Voodoo Valley, one of my kids, DJ, thanks for stopping by and trolling me on BYU the whole time. Our good friend SDG Replays, check out that wonderful channel. Matt Steeler Fan 1933. Arnold Hunter, thanks for stopping by, my friend. Al Red Sox fan, of course. He's got some boxing going on now, Title Bout 2 and Glory Days Boxing. Pro Football Strategy, Al Red Sox fan, the channel with it all. Check it out. D. Scott Howard. And I think that is everyone. Of course, Clinton Parks, cutting baseball cards and proprietor of the Cardiac Baseball League. Appreciate you all stopping by. And thank you for that, Derek. And you can, I guess, send that to me. As you got your wish, BYU lost. And that's a family thing, guys. So, all right. Appreciate everyone stopping by again. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button on the way out. Subscribe. And Glory Days College Football in development, set to be released at the end of the 2021 college football season. Glory Days Boxing, you can get that at sidelinestrategy.com. Hope you all have a great night. Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming. Take care, everyone.